Get started. Thank you guys all for coming. There's a lot of fanfare and a little bit of boring material that goes into this, so we're going to start with the boring, if that's okay with you guys. Every time we honor our teachers for Teacher of the Year, one of the things that we like to do is explain the process. So we're going to explain a little bit about how we select site Teachers of the Year, and then how we select our top 5. And then ultimately how we vote for our District Teacher of the Year. So, without further ado, here comes the boring part. What you're seeing here is the District Teacher of the Year committee. The committee members are chosen by their site principal, and they're asked to serve a 3-year term on the committee, because there's a lot that goes into reading through profiles and reading through submissions from teachers and then narrowing down that top 5. But I'm going to ask if they're here. If you're here, I'd like for each of our committee members to stand up as I call your name. My name is Sean Beard. I'm the Assistant Superintendent of Teaching and Learning. Jennifer Burke from Clyde Boyd Middle School. Pam Eubanks. Pam Eubanks is actually last year's District Teacher of the Year, so we always have our District Teachers of the Year serve on the committee. Jennifer Holland from Charles Page Freshman Academy. Barbie Jackson from Limestone Technology Academy. Kim King, I don't know if Kim is here. Tarina Montross, she is a district patron that serves on the committee. Dustin Morrow, Charles Page High School and former District Teacher of the Year. Wendy Payton, Angus Valley Elementary School. Lori Phillips, Pratt Elementary. Jill Sandberg, Tulsa Boys Home. Whitney Sanders, Early Childhood Education Center. Whitney Wagers, board member. Is Whitney here? And then Amanda Webster from Northwoods. And this team assembles several times throughout the year to discuss how the process works, and then we get the arduous task of going through the site nominations and looking through those winners' portfolios. So the way this works is each year, each building will nominate a site Teacher of the Year. Each site nominates a representative that must have been with the district at least 3 years. Nominees must be planning to teach for the next school year. And then nominees have to go through the process of submitting an introduction video, a short biography outlining their career, community and personal achievements, 3 letters of recommendation, and then a written response to a prompt. And we give that all to them in November so that they can work on it over Christmas break, which is exactly what they all want to do. So that submission is due by the first week of January after we return to school. Then the committee has the task of sitting down, reading through those, and deciding on our top 5. Shortly after that, we announce our top 5, and the 5 finalists selected have to go through a 30-minute interview where they answer 5 questions that we base off of the state competition, and they basically are sitting in a hot seat. So that list of members that you saw that I just announced, they sit in a U around the chair, and each member of the top 5 finalists has to go through the process of answering those questions with that team. So we call it the hot seat. We provide a box of Kleenex because we know it might reach that point. And then after those interviews, then the committee sticks around, and then we vote on your District Teacher of the Year. So that's why you guys are here today. So what we would like to do first is recognize our site Teachers of the Year. So as I call your name, Superintendent Durkee will give you your certificate for Site Teacher of the Year, and what we'd ask is if you can stay up here lined up to the left of the TV over there, then we will take a little photo off, so if that's okay. All right, so here are our Site Teachers of the Year. For Garfield STEAM Academy, Amber Alexander. For Angus Valley Elementary, Rihanna Bard. And these are in alphabetical order by last name, so don't try to figure anything out. From Five Boyd Middle School, Katie Edmondson. From Northwoods Fine Arts Academy, Taylor Gripondo. Representing Tulsa Boys Home and Page Academy, Neely Horn, who got From the 6th grade center, Kay Jackson, who also could not be here today. From Charles Page Freshman Academy, Caitlin Knowlton. From Pratt Elementary, Melissa Nelson. From the Early Childhood Education Center, Madison Orm. From Limestone Technology Academy, Stephanie Cividon. Today, so her husband is accepting on her behalf. No photo op. From Charles Page High School, Jessica Sprague. And from the Sand Springs Virtual Academy, Casey Yaten.
Yes, and so I know y'all are afraid to stand in front of the screen, but come out of this way. And so we'll start right here. Krista, do you want to get up and give me a picture with me? Oh, Lisa's here for sure. Lisa's right here. Oh.
So she gets in the picture.
In the picture. She's training her.
Yeah, let's scooch in a little more and sorry, friends.
You guys they're touching the screen if that's going to reveal something.
Oh, yeah.
It will. They're changing. You got I'm
Everybody close your eyes.
Oh, Sean.
Stop it.
You have to stop it.
Maybe move completely away from us. I think, oh.
There we go.
All right. Amazing. Perfect. 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. Sharon. All right, we're good. Thank you.
So you guys almost got an early reveal because we touched the screen there.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Okay, so from the meetings where we put everybody in the hot seat, where we reviewed and then we decided who was going to have to sit in the hot seat, we chose 5. As you've already seen from the table, and you probably saw from social media announcements, we've already picked our 5 finalists that we announced earlier this month, but we're going to give you a little bit of a chance to know them a little bit better. So our top 5 candidates, what we're going to do is I'm going to say a few words about each one, and then we're going to watch a little bit from their submission video, and then this is the fun part, everyone. Those 5, you have to stand up here the entire time to go through these. It's a little bit of like torture that Superintendent Durkee requests every year. I'm kidding. It's just part of the ceremony. We did used to do that. So bear with us through the ceremony. Katie's looking at me because alphabetically she gets to go. So our first finalist for District Teacher of the Year is Katie Edmondson. Katie Edmondson has been with the district many years. I first remember her working at Charles Page High School. I actually worked on this staff for a time, and I got to work alongside her. And then after several years in her career, she moved over to Clyde Boyd Middle School. One of the things that I love about walking into her classroom is just seeing how she tries to reach every child, and I think you're going to see that as you watch this video that we're about to see. She takes the opportunity to make sure that the content reaches every child, and whether that's through the use of technology or that's through making her way around the room and working with each child, it's just evident that she really cares about her students. So here we go.
Hi, I'm Katie Edmondson, Clyde Boyd Middle School Site Teacher of the Year. And I guess I'm supposed to make a 90-second video. And I didn't really know what to do. And then I wrote my written response, which was about hope and the value of it and how to foster that in the classroom. And I thought I would share a poem that I wrote that is loosely based on Hope is the Thing That Feathers, an Emily Dickinson poem that I have provided a link to on the classroom. So this poem I wrote to explain why I have continued to teach, why I came back to teaching. So here it is. Hope is a classroom full of kids who perch, slump, sit, or sprawl in their desks and proclaim the things without any words that matter most to me. And loudest in my heart is heard the high five of upraised hands when the task is first begun, or the yawp of pride at a job well done. I've heard those unspoken sounds in the darkest hour on the hardest day during the heaviest year, and never have they failed to call me back. So that's just a little bit of why I teach and what I find value in, and the importance of hope.
Come on up, Dave. And Ms. Turkey has your certificate in your plaque.
That's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna make.
Do we want to do?
Come by me. And she said, "Oh, yeah."
Okay, so security blanket. Okay, all right. So our next district finalist is coming up. Here we go. Melissa Nelson from Pratt. Every time we go through the process of selecting the top 5, one of the things that I do is a site visit, and I enter the teacher's classroom. And so as you saw from Katie's video, we got a little bit of footage from there. Also got some footage from Ms. Nelson. And again, you know, this was a very difficult year. We had a really solid set of 5 finalists to choose from. And entering into Melissa's classroom, it's always on the highest level of professionalism with kids, helping to kind of exemplify, you know, the kinds of manners that she wants her kids to exemplify. And at the same time, making sure, just like with Katie, she's reaching every child. So Melissa has been with the district many years, and you know, I can say that in all the roles that she's been in, I've just been impressed with the work that she does. I think you will be too when you see this video.
Hi, my name is Melissa Nelson. I'm a 3rd grade teacher here at Pratt Elementary. I've had the distinct pleasure of teaching 3rd grade now for 5 years. Before that, I taught in special education for 10 years. Thank you. So we're going to I truly believe my experience as a special educator has provided me with tools for individualized instruction that accommodates different learning styles and levels. Creating positive relationships are important in shaping a classroom environment where each child feels supported. Okay, we're going to do our review. So I want everybody to stand up. So we're going to do our mirrors, okay? I'm waiting for everybody. Eyes on me. Eyes on you. Mirrors up. Mirrors up. The commutative property. The commutative property says it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. As we know, students will go above and beyond what is expected of them when they know their teacher believes in them. One of the very best parts of being a teacher is getting to watch your students take flight.
Nelson from Pratt. Okay, our next candidate is Madison Orm from the Early Childhood Education Center. Madison has been one of those teachers that when you enter your classroom, you can tell that the kids feel safe. The kids want to be there. And the work that she puts in does not just stop at the classroom. I know that she has been a right hand for her principal, Ms. Douglas. I know that she's worked very hard as a PLC coordinator for the district. She's our pre-K coordinator, and you can never throw anything at her that she won't tackle. If you ask her to do it, she's going to step up and say, yes, I can. So the video that you're about to watch, the day that I visited the class, she said, we're going to do a STEM project and they want you to take part. And I was like, oh my God. But one of the things that I like to do is when I go to each classroom, I like to walk around. They probably think I'm a little loony, but I walk around and I take photos of everything on the walls just to see how they have their classroom set up. And I did that in Madison's classroom, and it's quite interesting the setup that she has for her kids.
Madison, teacher of the year interview, take 5. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
My name is Madison Orm. I'm a pre-K teacher at the ECPC. This is my 7th year teaching and 4th year with Sand Springs.
And what made you want to be a teacher?
My parents are both teachers, and I have a lot of teachers in my family, and I just have always wanted to be a teacher. I love hanging out with little kids. They're funny. They make my day fun. So why not make a job of it?
And what would you say is your favorite thing about teaching?
Well, it's fun. I enjoy my day-to-day. And I love seeing kids figure things out and just how they light up and seeing them proud of themselves. It's super cool.
That is super cool. What's something that is funny that's happened to you recently? I'm sure you have like tons of stories about pre-K stuff.
Pre-K is very funny. Our stories are actually pretty similar to yours. The other day at Free Choice Centers, I had a girl come up to me with a pen and a paper ready to go, and she was just like, Miss Orm, how do you spell revenge? I told her, wrote it down, to somebody.
Send it to somebody. All right, well, good luck on what you're doing.
Thank you, good luck.
Good luck on what you're doing. Oh, thank you so much. Good luck on your... Good luck. Good luck.
You didn't think I'd use that, did you? I have a feeling I'm in a little hot water with Kate. So. Okay, and our next candidate, our next finalist for Teacher of the Year is Miss Stephanie Cividon. I actually have the distinct advantage of having known, as a couple of other people in our district, having known Stephanie since I was in high school. And so I try not to, I've known actually all of these people, from the inception of their career, and I try not to impart any kind of partiality with any of them. But Stephanie has been a hard worker in the district for many, many years, and one of the things that she takes on is our Title I RSA coordinator at Limestone, which if you don't understand what that entails, that entails quite a bit. That is the task of taking on those learners that are a little bit behind and they're missing some foundational skills. And she does the task of pulling them out of the classroom and working with them one-on-one in small groups. And that takes a lot of patience and a lot of care. And and you have to do it in such a way that the kids don't realize what you're doing, that you're pulling them out of the class for remediation. And she does a wonderful job at that, and I think you'll see that here from her video. Oh, there we go. I'm a little scared there.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Simonon, Title I teacher at Limestone Technology Academy. I teach reading and math intervention to kindergarten through 5th grade students. And I want to give you a peek into what part of our day looks
And our final candidate for District Teacher of the Year is Ms. Jessica Sprague. Jessica has also worked in the district for many years, and she first worked for us in an elementary capacity, but she later moved into science, and then most recently, in the past several years, she has worked as our engineering teacher, which in trying to set up a STEM program at the high school, it's very difficult, and I don't envy the task that Mr. Trout had in finding the right candidate to fit that role. But it took a couple of tries for us to really find that teacher that fit the mold, teaching kids, high school kids that is, teaching high school kids engineering. And again, much like it takes at the elementary level or the middle school level, it takes a lot of patience, and it takes a lot of trial and error in helping kids understand that it's okay to make mistakes. And so I'm going to show you a little bit about what Ms. Sprague does in her classroom.
Hello everyone, I'm Jessica Sprague. This is my 4th year teaching PLTW engineering at Charles Page High School and my 12th year as an educator. I consider myself to be a Sandite, even though I grew up in Colorado. I met my husband Levi just before graduating from the University of Tulsa, and shortly after, he returned home from a tour of duty with the United States Army. We've been married for 11 years and have 2 amazing children, Lucy and Charlie. My goal as an educator is to provide a setting where students can build relationships through communication, collaboration, outreach, and networking. I'm passionate about providing students with opportunities to practice and master skills that will guide them towards being a kind and productive citizen. The thing I love the most about teaching is getting to know each individual student as they are in the moment and working with them as they get to know themselves, their strengths and weaknesses, and discover their passions. I fully realize that these students will be working alongside us in the very near future. They will be our neighbors, our friends, our servicemen and women, our caretakers, and the parents to the next generation of amazing human beings. Teaching engineering and working on projects that have a direct connection to daily life is absolutely thrilling. But working with our future is a privilege and an honor that I do not take lightly. I am blessed to have colleagues and an administration that believe in my ability to be a part of that. I truly thank all of you for your support and consideration alongside an incredible group of educators for Sand Springs Public Schools Teacher of the Year. Thank you.
Yeah, we're going to take a 30-minute intermission.
So Sean does this to me every year because he's afraid he's afraid he's going to cry, and I have to tell you, listening to all these stories, I was crying. I look at Morgan Douglas, and she's teary-eyed, and so I couldn't look at you anymore because the poem was a beautiful way to start the potluck ceremony. So thank you, Katie, for doing that. It's an honor because what you're looking at is a great cross-section, I think. So the committee did a good job of what we do at different levels of teaching children. And our story this morning was that it's about the children and it's people over programs. And so these folks are about people, little to big. And even though those darn seniors in high school think that they're all grown up, they're truly not, and they definitely need a mentor. So without further ado, I'm super proud to have the honor to announce this year's District Teacher of the Year, and that honor goes to Miss Jessica Sprague.
This is a true honor. It's been 12 years getting into this and finding myself here amongst people that I consider the best. And I don't know all of you super personally well, but I've gotten to know each of you in some small capacity, and a bunch of great women to get to stand by up here, and just a bunch of great people to get to work with. So, yeah, thanks.
Don't forget your bag, too. Let's go. By the way, you all need to know that teachers are the most humble people in the world, and they really don't get credit. Good for you. What? Okay, so the plan is.
So we ask that everyone please stick around for a few moments. We do have some light refreshments over there. Just feel free to stick around and congratulate each of our candidates. And we thank you all for being here.